All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Touchline Podcast, League Talk Edition. Before we get started, make sure you hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe. And we recently just dropped a video just last night, the Luke Brayley podcast. So if you haven't checked that out, he's the man that brought Belmore back to where it is right now. Games are being played there right now. And we've got also a game this Sunday at Belmore Sports Ground, the Bulldogs and the Raiders. So it's a big campaign he introduced, and it's went so successful.
Great story, great inspirational
Beautiful
story. By the man who brought it back.
Yeah, it was such a great chat with him. He told us some interesting stories, the players that got involved, and just everything behind it. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure you go check it out.
Great personality too, man.
Yeah,
Top bloke.
very humble.
Very humble.
Yeah, very humble, down to earth.
Shout out Luke Brayley.
Yeah, man. He off camera, he goes like, he felt like very comfortable here, and that's what we want to bring to any guest that comes on.
100%.
Which is a good thing. But yeah, man, round 21 was a very good round, but we're heading into round 22. Let's go through some tips, some big games this week, and some big games for top 8. So many teams are going to want to win this week.
Yeah, all right. So we'll start the Thursday game, Tigers and Cowboys. So they're playing at Leichhardt.
Sam will go first.
I'm going to go Tigers. I think
Tigers.
something telling me, I saw this fixture like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Something's telling me Tigers. I don't know why. I think this top 8 race isn't over. Someone's going to slip. Someone's going to have a massive defeat. And I think Tigers get the win here. Bill?
Yeah, I'm saying Cowboys. Cowboys to win.
Yeah, I'm going Cowboys. Cotter has been ruled out for a couple of weeks, but yeah, I still think they'll get the job done.
I'm sticking with Tigers.
Okay.
So Tigers a home game. They need to get the result. They haven't got it in a while. So Cowboys, they did play well on the weekend, but I can just see that Tigers more get that win. They need it. Like, it's
the special guest is Jamie Soward.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jamie Soward.
The pod will be out next week, next
Monday.
Sunday next week. So yeah, he's the guest for this week, and he's tipping Cowboys.
Okay.
Next game we got Friday night. First 6 o'clock, Warriors and Parramatta.
Yeah. Para, dreadful.
Yeah,
Warriors 13 plus.
Yeah, Warriors 13
Sean
plus
Johnson
as well.
is back.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
back.
SJ's back.
SJ, yeah. Can't wait for him to play back.
Going Warriors.
Yeah, and Jamie Soward as well is going the same thing.
Yeah.
Next game we got Dolphins and Roosters.
Look,
I'm going to start it. I'm going to go Roosters.
Well, remember last year Dolphins, the first round caused an upset to Roosters, but Roosters, they're looking good. They're scoring a lot of points. That game against Manly was a thriller, like such a good game. I'll go Roosters 1-12.
Bill?
I'm going to go Roosters.
Yeah, I'm going Roosters as well, 13 plus game.
Yeah, I think Roosters as well. It'll be tough. It'll be a tough task. And Jamie Soward was also going Roosters.
Next game we got Titans versus Brisbane Broncos.
Who you going?
I'm sticking with Titans.
Okay.
Yeah, they played well on the weekend. Pereira, man, he's a gun player. He's a freak, that bloke. Every game when he plays, he always puts like 2 tries or a hat-trick all the time.
Yeah.
Titans are building something special for next year, especially, but I'm tipping Broncos. I think they need a win. Like, I feel their top 8 chances are slipping away, but this is a game against Titans. Yes, they're a good team, and it's at Titans' home ground, but I just feel Broncos are motivated and they're ready to pounce on Titans.
I'm going to go Broncos 1-12. They need a win. Last week's game against the Bulldogs was very bad from them, very poor. And I think I said they'll make the top 8 last week, but that could change very quickly. But I'll go Broncos 1-12.
You?
Yeah, I'm definitely going Broncos.
And Jamie Soward is going Titans.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay, next game.
We got Melbourne versus St. George.
Melbourne with a big thrashing. I'm going.
Yeah, big thrashing.
They're Amy Park, aren't they?
Yeah, Amy Park home advantage. Storms.
Yeah.
So you're changing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they played well against Parramatta, man. They pumped them.
Yeah.
They pumped them big
Yeah,
time.
I'll go Melbourne as well.
Yeah.
Munster's back too.
Yeah, Munster's
so
back.
That should be good for Melbourne.
He played as well on
played,
Friday.
to be
honest,
He only played like 15, 20 minutes, I think, or half the game.
He played 45,
more
50
than
minutes.
More than half a game.
And he did look good,
He was trying to test himself so he can be fit for next game.
Jamie Soward is going Dragons, of course.
Of course,
Backing his boys.
Guys, I hope you're enjoying the podcast so far. We've teamed up with Sportsheads.
They're a great company that cut up faces of NRL players across the league. You might have seen them at stadiums. They're the big heads that fans hold up in the air. Make sure you use the discount code TLP10.
Buy one and you'll get 10% off.
Back to the pod.
Well, speaking of the next game, who you got? We got Sharks and Rabbitohs.
Okay, who you got? That's it.
We weren't speaking of who you got.
I mentioned it, so you got a problem with that?
Okay, who you got this week? We had an all shocker last week.
Yeah.
All of us got 0 points. So
First time, I think, this season.
Yeah, the ladder
0 points.
remains. Chabot first, second, third, and fourth. Anthony last again.
It's okay.
So who you got this week? Sharks and Rabbitohs. I went Sharks to win 24 points to 14. Bill?
I went 28-16.
I'm
Sharks.
going 26-16. I'm going Sharks.
Okay.
I'm going with Souths 34-16.
Okay, you're going with South.
South
Okay,
Sydney,
upset.
yeah.
Okay. Anytime I went Britton Nakora. Bill?
Yeah, I went Will Kennedy.
Anytime I went Sione Katoa, yeah. Yeah, Jack Wyden. Jack Wyden. you
Oh
went.
yeah, Jack White. Yeah,
Jack
sorry.
First try scorer, I have a gut instinct that it's going to be Jesse Ramian. Down in the center, just palms the play and just goes in. I'm visualizing it, so I'm going Jesse Ramian.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Milne. Is that?
Yeah.
Taman Milne.
I'm going Ramian as well, Jesse Ramian.
First try scorer, Sion Couture.
Okay,
From Cronulla.
and man of the match for me, I'm going Britton Nakora.
Kennedy.
Same with Samuel as well. Nakora.
Man of the match, I'm going to go Cody Walker.
Okay, yeah. And bold prediction, I'm going Nakora back-to-back tries at any time.
All right. Yeah, I'm going Rabbitohs to score in the first 3 minutes.
That's a good
Ooh,
one.
yeah, that's a good one.
I'm going in the first half, only below 14 points. Combined points in the first half.
And
Oh, well.
Anthony.
I'm going Souths leading halftime 18-0.
Yeah, that's a good
18-0
one.
half time.
18-0 halftime.
If you get
Wow.
that right, that'd be good.
I hope I get that.
Souths.
Yeah, Souths in
Sharks home.
Could cause an
They
upset.
could cause an upset
Yeah.
against Sharks. You can tell Sharks haven't been playing that well these last couple of
Especially
weeks.
Nico Hines out for the
Yeah.
season. But yeah, look, it's
That's
not a
a
bad
They
take.
play well. They play well, but they always struggle. That's the problem.
No, honestly, I can see Rabbitohs putting an upset there, but yeah, I'm just going with Sharks.
And
but yeah,
Jamie
this-
Soward has tipped Sharks.
Okay.
Sharks. Yeah, fair enough.
We've got Penrith and Newcastle.
Panthers 13 plus.
Penrith.
Penrith 13
All of
plus
us
for me as
Penrith.
well.
100% Penrith.
And last game of the week, our home game, Bulldogs versus Canberra.
Doggies 13 plus.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna be a
I
big
want
win.
to see big thrashing
Big
from
win.
Dogs. I want Bulldogs to win.
Yeah, I'm going
13
Dogs and
plus.
Jamie Soward also tipping the Dogs as
Okay,
well.
we'll talk about the Bulldogs now. Let's move on to their massive win at Suncorp. We have to talk about it. You know, our defense has been the key of our whole season.
Yeah.
Attack has been the biggest letdown. Our defense has been winning us the games, but the attack won us the game this game. We have not seen a Bulldogs performance like that. The attack we played, shifting it left, right, making the Broncos defense, move left to right, and they probably came into the game thinking we're going to go straight down the middle, but we completely destroyed them, and it made them get tired. But because our players are fit and we don't have big forwards, and that's why we bought those players for that reason, to be fit for these 80 minutes games, they put them off the park. They thrashed them.
And that's what I love about the Dogs, this performance, especially because you look at it not only this year, but every single year we seem to have no attack. And the reason for that is just we keep doing hit up, and then on the last tackle we're creating chances and spreading the ball. But what I liked about this performance is that every set we're spreading the ball, making the defense tired, where as opposed to a couple of games before that, we'll just hit ups, were quite predictable, and not the defense of the other team they didn't get tired enough. So when you spread the ball, you make the defense tired, it opens gaps, and it causes line breaks, and that's what we saw the other week.
What I loved about the game, that I saw a lot of ball movements left and right and centre, how you said it, Sam. Like 75 minutes of the game, they were playing so well.
Yeah.
Dogs were playing outstanding. I think this was the first time seeing a proper attack that's happened on the field. Like
A full 80-minute performance.
a full 80 minute, I can't even say 80-minute performance, but defensive was super strong.
Yeah, again.
And I told you before that they stopped Reece Walsh and Adam Reynolds.
Yeah.
And then Adam Reynolds got injured as well
Injured. He was
towards the end
limping
of the
a bit,
game
yeah,
as
yeah.
well. But I wasn't happy with those two easy tries from Reece
Yeah,
Walsh
it was
and
very easy.
Katoni Staggs. I thought Bronson Cherry.
The Katoni Staggs was a very good try.
Yeah, it was.
Was it preventable? Yes. The Reece Walsh one was tough because it's in a scrum, and I called it. I said he's going to score here because if you look at last week's or 2 weeks ago against Knights, they scored from a scrum, and it was Adam Reynolds passing it to Reece Walsh, and Reece Walsh went through. So I just knew it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And the last try was easy as that. But yeah, Bill.
No, but it was a great game, man. It's always about the Bulldogs defense, but this game was about the Bulldogs attack.
Yeah.
They smashed it at the park, man. Spread that ball a bit more, and great start from the Dogs, man.
Yeah, and even Skelton, man, like ever since he's been playing for the Dogs, when he gets a chance, he's like performing.
Yeah.
And the first half specifically, like he had times where he should be running straight and outpacing the defender, but instead he just cuts back in and gets tackled.
Yeah.
You
He
could
didn't
see
back
in the-
himself.
Yeah, exactly, in the
Yeah.
first half. But second half, you could see that Serrata probably did tell him something to back yourself, believe in yourself. And you can see that first chance he had in the second half, he made a run and he didn't go back in. He just kept on running and made a line break.
In the first half as well, when he kept running on the side, but sometimes like when you make a mistake, like they'll take you out of the sideline.
Yeah.
He played it smart. he kept staying on the field. He
And
didn't
then
want to
came-
risk himself.
But like there was many moments where he could have scored.
Could have backed himself.
Yeah,
by
exactly.
doing it.
Hey,
But what about Matt Burton's kick when Blake Wilson flicked the ball
that
back
was
and
a
then
great
kick
try.
out,
Kiraz.
and then Reid Marnie kicked the ball
And
straight
Kiraz
to
won
Kiraz.
That was a dead set, but I
That
don't know
was
how they
crazy.
saved it.
That was
That's it.
massive. That one.
Both tries that were scored, Katoni Staggs and Skelton. That's
Skelton.
up there as one of the tries of the season.
Yeah.
Both
Yeah.
tries were incredible,
They were
man.
great. And like we were leading 18-0, 16-0, sorry, and then when Broncos score those last 2 tries and a half, like you're thinking,
Before half-time,
Broncos are
yeah.
going to come and now win it at Suncorp, the fans. But that first try we scored in the second half was so important. That's
Yeah.
what got us the momentum, and we blew them off the park.
Bro, they-
Who would
did-
think 40
Didn't
points
they
at
have?
Suncorp?
They had like a full strength team too.
Yeah, that was their full
Yeah,
strength.
they
we,
did.
we were depleted.
Yeah,
And
you could
Carrigan,
say.
100 games. Martin Sapau, 250.
250, yeah.
So there was something to play for Broncos. Now, breaking news about Utkamanu set to join the Dogs by Friday. It's either Storm or Bulldogs, but the favourites is Dogs. And just, again, that's a step in the right direction for the Dogs.
Yeah.
Getting Utkamanu, if it's true, and that's going to help our forward pack grow next year.
One of my mates was telling me he was at the coffee shop this morning. We're having the conversation about it, and he was asking me, "Did you hear about Tugamanu that he's going to be joining Dogs?" I was like, I did hear it, and I've seen it on social media and everything. He's like, one of his mates, I think their dad or someone, they're part of the board. They said, I think he is signing with
Does
Dogs.
he want this to be on video, man?
No, I'm just saying.
Nah, as in like-
because it hasn't been official yet.
All
That's
right,
what.
but like he's telling you inside information.
Yeah, he told me the inside.
So like, why are you saying it on camera?
You know what? I'm gonna let it slide.
But anyways,
I'm
Yeah,
just
but-
saying. Like,
I'm
for
just
your
saying,
mate's sake,
no,
bro.
but he's just saying the truth. Like I'm just,
No,
saying,
I'm just saying for your mate's sake.
Yeah.
That way he doesn't get into shit.
yeah, I know, but he's
Wait.
not part of it or anything.
he's
like
not
he
part
just,
of it.
But as
he
in, like,
just
he's
got the news
the
from.
board. Like
yeah.
he's
Wait, is he part of the
no,
He said he's
so-
part.
he's one of his uncles
Yeah.
knows someone from the board. They're
So
saying
like
it's
they
official.
can get,
Yeah,
they can get in shit.
I don't know, man. That's
I'm gonna cut this out, bro. Maybe.
Okay.
but quickly about the Dogs, we just need to stay composed. We just need to stay composed every week. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves because it could be a defeat at home that can really start to change
Yeah,
things
exactly.
again. And you can see on the ladder how close it is. One defeat can really put us back in the top 8 conversation. Right now we're in the top 4 conversation,
Yeah.
but that can instantly change by the end of next
Yeah.
week.
And they're saying about the Bulldogs are the dark horse of the year.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We are 100%.
We are
He's
the
gonna come into if that's the case about Kamanu. He's gonna come into a winning team, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Winning team, you know, but it's Bulldogs are starting to get that culture back with the attractiveness,
Yeah.
like of big signings like that.
And Paul Kamano, I was watching the Fox League with Braden Arsenal and that. He's only won, I think, 15 games, something around that, out of like 75.
Yeah.
And Paul, he's been at the club for so long, and people start to question that, why are you leaving the club that's struggling? Just stay there through the tough times. But come on, 4 years, 15 wins. Like
Yeah.
you want to change. He wants to be focusing on trying to get back to Origin,
Yeah.
play for Australia, for his nation. So it's a bigger picture that he needs a big move right now.
What's the name? The Roosters player. What's his name? That signed with Dogs.
Tupanua.
Tupanua. I was actually like thinking about this, like, you know, if Serrado, if he's going to put a massive forward pack for next year,
Good forward pack
you
coming
got
up.
Tukamanu, and you got what's name, Roosters player again,
Tupanua.
Tupanua. You got Kick-Out.
Yeah, it's
you
a
got
big
Preston.
forward pack.
That's going to be a big, massive forward pack next year. That's going to lead us
Yeah,
to
but
winning
what's
games
good
for
about
defensive as well. Like,
Kamanu, he's got size, and we need more of that. But
yeah, of course.
Shabon mentioned about Australia. They're going to host the World Cup, Rugby League World Cup
2026.
in 2026. The recent one was in
England.
England.
Yeah, it was in
So
England.
yeah, this one's in Australia. The last one we had in Australia was.
This was back in probably
Was it
2000s, I
No.
think.
No, it
Oh,
was,
06?
it was
18?
18.
18.
We went
Yeah.
to We went to the.
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, back in 2016, sorry.
Yeah,
I
something
was
like
at
that.
the...
Nah, 18.
I think it was
16.
18.
No, it would be 18 because it's every 4 years.
Every 4 years.
Every 4
he's
years?
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Bro, the
That
last
18,
time, my memories were
22.
2016.
18.
It's 18.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, okay.
It's 18.
Probably 18,
And
but
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
18.
yeah.
18.
But yeah.
I've lost
it's
count.
good. The last one we went to was a Lebanon and England game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I
Is
can't.
there a point for World Cup anymore?
I was
Yeah,
about to say
honestly,
that.
I find that a bit boring. Like, to be honest, I don't
Yeah.
watch it a lot because I watch here some games for Australia, but it's always a one-sided team.
It's
you know,
it's
but
dead in the water.
It's so dead because you get Australia smashing Samoa or Fiji 60 points to 6. Who wants to watch a game like that? You know, so honestly, they're not going to scrap it, but it's such a waste.
It's only 4 teams that are really in contention.
It's
Australia, England, Samoa.
And New Zealand, I think.
Maybe 5. Samoa, New Zealand, and Lebanon.
Lebanon as well.
Even Lebanon's, it's a bit...
But
Fiji?
But
No, not Fiji. There's Tonga. Sorry, Tonga.
Yeah, Tonga as well,
but even then,
Yeah.
Like if you're talking about dominance over the years, really it's
only
England,
New Zealand
England,
and
New
England,
Zealand,
Australia, England, the main 3.
So it's dead in the water, man. Get rid of they should get rid of it, because when you think about World Cup, you think about the soccer, how big on a world stage it is. And I'm not saying that like it should be where soccer is, but like rugby league isn't a big sport in itself. So how are you gonna expect to have these different countries contending for the World Cup, the trophy or whatever? You know, it doesn't engage the fans too. For me, it doesn't, man. Like I don't really watch it. Like I'd watch it if it's on TV. But for me to go out of my way and actually watch it, I can't do it.
Since it's in Australia, of course we probably go watch a few games because it's good. But again, it doesn't attract me. Like it's, as I said, the games are always a blowout, and it's not something that like I, come on a weekend to watch. And if I have plans, like because I just know Australia's gonna pump Fiji 60 points to 0.
Yeah, but it's Australia's game, man. It's no one else's game but Australia's and
There's like
England's.
4 tries in sometimes 10 minutes. Like it's a joke.
And look, in New Zealand as well, they've played well last year as well in the World Cup as well. Yeah. But they should have done the Tri-Nations Cup. I remember the days when I was watching it. Tri-Nations, like you only had Australia, England, and New Zealand. That's it.
Yeah.
So they had to qualify, and whoever wins the whole thing. That's it.
Because they know that those are the best teams.
And there were the days that I watched, like when you watch, like Andrew Johns, Brad Fittler, Stacey Jones, Adrian Morley from England as well. All those big guns, like those times, they were the best times. But now for the World Cup, it's not too bad, But you have to understand that everyone from around the world they want to travel here as well. But because
not really, but.
Well, they've been doing it now.
It's not big enough to.
Yeah, I know it's not big enough, but they're going to bring more audience to come down as well. Look, America's no chance. America's
they do it also because there's many island countries that love rugby league, and
they do.
It's a good way to grow the sport there, and the youngsters who can shine and perform for their countries, and they can attract NRL clubs.
Yeah.
That's the only positive I'd say, but apart from that, as I said, it's always a thrashing.
Yeah,
it is.
Look, we spoke about Utukamanu. Yeah. Now things at Tigers keep on getting worse. John Bateman has left the club for the 2024 season after an argument after a big defeat against, who was their previous defeat? A big one? Can't remember, but there was a massive defeat, and that led to John Bateman and Benji Marshall having an argument. And now you just look at Tigers right now; they're in a really big mess. I think no clubs in the last 4 years have been in a big mess like Tigers, because a lot of players in the last 2 years have been having arguments with the club. You look at, again, Utukamanu wanting to leave. You look at Galvin wanting to leave, not happy with the club because of him not getting first team play next year. Now, Bateman, apparently he's set to join Rabbitohs next year. It's not guaranteed, just rumours. So I don't know with Tigers, man. I think it's going to take another 5 years for them to be where they want to be, because it's really dark times for them. With Bateman, it's I know it's a mid-season switch, so he'll be back at the Tigers next year. With this, I still believe that Benji Marshall is going to bring the best out of Tigers. I think he's just now looking at the club, looking at the players to see, sort of like Serrato, not like fully like Serrato, but in a way he knows what players are right for the club, and he knows what players need to leave the club. And I think he's picking out the bad fruits, and I think give him time and he will deliver. They got to have faith in him, because already there's pressure on him. Everyone's saying to get rid of him. And again, this scenario with John Bateman gives a bad look at him. Like, he's already falling out with, supposedly one of their best and best players and probably one of the leaders in the club, and he's already wanting out. And again, Utokamanu leaving. It does look bad on him. But again, I think they've got to stick with Benji Marshall and not let this feud with Bateman affect what. Because I know this year they've got, of course, they're last on the ladder, competing with the wooden spoon with Eels. But their performances, yes, they're losing, but I still see fight. I still see signs of a great team, a great young team that's developing in the next 3 to 4 years. And like Samuel said, I think he's the right coach. I don't think they're going to sack him. I think fans should trust him because you can see how great he was as a player. He knows the game. He knows the game well, and he can bring that attacking style that he had back in the day. So again, yes, it's dark times for Tigers fans, but I don't think they should stress too much because eventually it's going to end. Time get better.
Between 5 to 10 years for him. Like Luai coming in, I think it's going to change a lot.
Yes.
I think they really need a shift in their culture.
Taruva's going there too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I forgot about Taruva.
With the addition of Luai and you got Olam there, you got a few big name players there. It's a matter of time for the Tigers.
Yeah,
before they're even just out of the wooden spoon position.
Yeah, it takes
it's
time.
It's going to take time, but with this Bateman situation, man, get rid of the bad fruits as you said, man, and just start building on whoever you got.
100%.
And even To'o has been rumored.
That's what I was going to say.
The CEO has shut down rumors.
Yeah.
Shut down the eggs of him potentially leaving the club. But if he was to leave the club, it's probably either between Tigers or Bulldogs.
Tigers offered him, I think, a $4 million
Tigers
contract.
did offer them a contract, but
for Brian To'o as well.
They offered him apparently a $4 million contract, but last year he signed a 4-year contract. And I was watching Fox League again. They were like, you can't sign a deal with the Panthers, and now because you see Luai getting a big money deal, you see Crichton getting big money deal.
To River as well now.
You're going to think, I should be on that big bucks. And as I said, it doesn't work like that. You signed the 4-year contract deal. You can't just get out of it if you want to leave next year. It shouldn't be done like that. But with the Tigers again, they're on the right track, and I think with the players they're bringing in next year, it's only going to get better. And Bill said 5 to 10 years. I think it could be like with the Bulldogs, everyone thought it was going to be longer, but we clicked. So I think I'd say 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, right.
Because think about it, Benji Marshall walked into a team that didn't have any world class players. Like you had like what's it called? You had let's say you had David Nofaluma. You had a decent forward pack with David Clemmer, but overall it wasn't a strong team. So it's gonna take time. And like you said, with the players that's coming to the club, and maybe if To'o was to join, these players can make the clubs better. Just like for example, Bulldogs. The players we've signed. And Serrao, give him all the credit, and he's got the players the way they're playing. But if it wasn't for those great players we've signed, we would have not been in this position.
With the inclusion of Luai, I think that's going to help him.
Big time.
Him and
Sonia Taruva.
Lachlan Galvin.
Yeah.
If they can work well together.
Or Aiden
as
Caesar.
we know, all it takes is that number 7 and 6 to change a whole game.
Yeah.
We've seen Galvin do it, and I think when they get Luai in, we could see Tigers being a mid-table, like 12th, 11th next season.
And
look how good Galvin has been on his own. With no experienced halfback. And imagine Luai there, it'll be a good combination.
It'll release Galvin more, give him, ease the pressure off him.
Like you said about Luai, even with the backs as well, because you got Justin Holland there from Melbourne,
Taruva.
and now you got Sonia Taruva coming in.
Yeah.
That's going to help their backs as well.
And they got Charlie Staines.
As well. But if Brian To'o wanted to go there, like how you said, he can't get out of the contract. If he does go to Tigers, good luck to him, and that will help their backs as well. Exactly. Because how you said Tigers might struggle for a couple of years, I don't see it. I think maybe Tigers might click in next year if they get the right system, the right program, as like the game plan as well.
Not a bad shout.
Yeah, well, like I'm saying, Luai will play well and he'll play good next year.
He would.
You know,
we'll see what happens.
But we've got to wait and see next year. Hopefully, Tigers will switch it around. We'll find out.
The competition is going to get very interesting. Apparently, they're trying to introduce a 20-team competition, which is what the AFL currently have, even the Premier League have. So a lot of competitions are based around 20 teams in the competition. NRL currently was 17th with
17.
It was 16 before, but Dolphins got introduced last year. So this is what would basically happen if this was to go through. Every team will verse each other once. It could be potentially a 20-round season. So currently we're on a 27. But if you include the 3 byes each team has, it's a 24-round season. Origin could happen after the NRL season is completed, and international series post-season, again, once the season finishes. So...
But can we get an 18 team first? Why are we thinking of 20?
I know.
Like I get they got to shoot big, and that's their ultimate goal.
They're trying to expand,
But 20 teams, man, like it's like every team would have to face each other once. I don't think I like that, but I get it. They're gonna have to.
So would it still be like a top 8?
Still top 8.
Finals would be
maybe top 10. They might change it to top 10.
Yeah, but my thing is like just build the clubs that you have now, man. Like when you got Tigers struggling and stuff, and you're not gonna showcase. You're not gonna like introduce other teams when there's still teams struggling on that in your comp. It's I get every league has that team,
20,
but still, bro, to grow like because like for instance for Tigers they could poach the biggest like for instance Jerome Luai, say an 18 team, 19 team, 20th team comes in, they poach Luai, and then what's all that building for what?
Right.
So
and if they were to go 20. I think it should be spanned out into like a 15-year, 10-year project, whatever.
Yeah.
Like every 4 years we bring another team. Every 4 years to fill in that 20 position. But look, I was happy with 16 teams, but again, it's good to bring new teams to just really change up the league because, again, NRL does want to grow. We've seen it now with them moving to Las Vegas for the round 1 opening. They're trying to find ways to grow the competition. And look, personally, bringing more teams is a great way to grow the competition, but I agree with Bill's point about how these new teams could poach the bigger players, in which Tigers have been in the competition for so long. Yeah. And imagine just for that team to steal a player they want. You know, it could have cause a bit of.
You look at Dolphins, since they've entered the you can see different like competition, and if look how good the season has been this year, so competitive. You could see by the ladder how close it is, and if you add another 3 teams, it's going to become more competitive, and it's going to become more a much harder competition than what you already have.
20-round season, do you like it?
Well, look, currently we're on a 27. As I said, technically 24 because everyone gets a 3 bye round.
Yeah.
I don't like 20 because I feel it's a bit short. I understand it could help the players because if they're going to do Origin postseason and international, that makes up for, you know, those shortages of rounds. So let's say we got 20 rounds, then Origin is 3 games. So then that will be like 23 rounds for those players. So it helps the players, allows them to recover from, you know, all those games because if they're playing 24 games plus 3, that's an extra 3 games to their season.
So 40 would finish like September.
Yeah.
No, it's bad
October. Maybe.
Yeah, September,
October,
you're right.
Yeah.
It's bad for the fans.
I
in terms of a shorter season. Better for the players, worse for the fans because we hate when the season's over.
Like Origin during COVID after the season. And did you like it? Like for me, I don't think it was that bad, but for Origin because potentially it's going to be after the season ends. Yeah. But as a fan that's grown up over the years, I still prefer Origin during the season.
Because you look forward to something. I prefer the same as well because you wait for that moment, like you wait for that time when it hits. Because like when you know Origin, you know everyone's going to stay, like everyone's going to tune in to watch it.
Everyone's warmed up, you know, at the midpoint of the year. Everyone's going to have injuries at the end of the year and whatnot. That's right. Like the way they had it in 2020.
But like with Shabel's point,
mid-season, it should always stay mid-season.
June. And I feel with this, the fans won't be happy with this, but the players will. I think many players would love an Origin after.
You sure?
I feel because I think they'll be happy is because. And even teams would be happy because a lot of teams miss out on players during we've seen we lost against the Roosters because of Crichton missing out. That Burden drama, 18th man, he didn't play. Yeah. So I think, as I said, I think teams would be happy and maybe some players could be happy.
I think I think even the viewers will get fatigued from watching footy.
I think so, yeah.
Like as much as we don't want the regular season to end, you know, watching an Origin, like who cares at the end of the season? Like I think it would hit differently in my opinion.
It would hit differently. It would hit differently.
Because just the fatigue, the viewers' fatigue, man.
Exactly.
You're so sick of watching footy after finals.
You might as well.
Yeah, that's right.
All your energy's gone.
You know what?
Exactly.
And grand final's always been on that October 4th, whether that famous October period, daylight saving, and if that brings in, that changes that. So there's a few things that could change. And personally, for me, the max I'd bring is probably 18 teams, but 20 teams I wouldn't be disappointed because again it makes the competition better. But again, there's some cons, as we said, reduced rounds and all that.
As we know, like nothing will never stay the same.
But quickly, we didn't touch on it. Who's the 20th, 19th, and 18th team?
Well, you got PNG, the team that coming up.
Bring
I reckon the
Brisbane Bombers, I think.
Yeah. Brisbane Bombers and I think Western Reds, maybe.
I think I'd love to see
North Sydney Bears, maybe.
I reckon Bears.
North Sydney Bears.
I'd love to see PNG, but I don't think it'd work. I don't think any of the players want to go over there.
Unsafe.
It's like a third world country.
I wouldn't mind a Perth country. Perth.
I reckon Perth, Bears,
Western Reds,
and.
Wait, so you're saying Western Reds from Perth, then you got North Sydney Bears
and Brisbane Bombers,
and then Brisbane Bombers.
Yeah,
but you already got Titans and Broncos.
Yeah,
and
still it's expanding.
But 4 teams.
Grow the Queensland
Rugby
League.
They only have 3 Queensland teams. That's another 4th one.
All right, Bombers. Yeah,
and Dolphins is Queensland too.
And Perth is a way to. Of course, you can see it around Australia. They're trying to promote Perth. I think so. That's a great team to be into.
Yeah, I think Perth would be. So you're saying Western?
So Western Reds, they played back in the late '95. I remember that team.
I reckon.
North Sydney Bears, I said.
Wait, hold on.
Tell me.
No,
tell me. No, say it. No, go for it.
No, finish your point.
I was saying Western Sydney Reds.
I think.
Yeah, Brisbane Bombers, North Sydney Bears.
And that's 3,
yeah. So, but that PNG team, I'm not sure about that.
Maybe the Bears, Jets. I reckon bring back the Jets.
Oh yeah, Newtown Jets.
Newtown
You know what?
Jets.
That's a
Yeah,
good
but
one.
they only play in the New South Wales Cup.
Yeah, you boost them up
You boost
into
them up.
for first grade.
If they got
that's
the
a good
money
shout.
for it.
Anyways,
like,
I reckon they got the money, man. And then you bring a Perth team.
Yeah, I think Perth would be a very good idea. Shabal said they're growing the economy there. They're trying to bring everything there, even UFC fights. Everything about it is trying to get Perth. So I think if they bring a Perth team, and it will be the right thing. And also, again, Origins at Perth too. So it makes sense. And I also want to mention, again, you can see how next 5 years, they've got a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, every opener at Las Vegas. And if this was to work and it will expand the game in America and create teams and competitions over there, would you like to see like a competition between Australia teams and America teams? Like a tournament, like the Champions League, like what we see in soccer.
If it's big enough.
If it's big enough.
If they're good enough even.
And would even relegation, I'd like to see one day. Not now because it's still a small sport.
Yeah.
But in the next 10 years, I'd love to see that.
If they can grow it to where they
that
want it
would
to
make
be.
the game so much better.
Because
relegation brings another excitement. You know, wooden spoon, yes, you win the wooden spoon. But I feel if there's a relegation battle between, let's say the 2019-18, those teams will fight harder than fighting for a wooden spoon, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Relegation is such a great system. And if they do get bigger with American and bring in more teams, NRL can really grow quickly.
Expand,
Yeah. So it's again, there's pros and cons for this. But before we wrap up the League Talk edition, let's start with some start, bench, and sell.
It's been a while since we did this.
Yeah, but what we're doing in regards to this is we're doing a start, bench, sell based on this season, their form. In 2024. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, we got Connor Tracy, Hammer, and Keanu Kinney.
Who wants to start off?
I'm going to go. Look, Connor Tracy's been very good. I feel he's like a Dylan Edwards type of player, good on the bombs, very safe player. This was his best performance against the Broncos. Stood out, 3 tries, 3 try assists. And if he can keep that up, he can be such an elite fullback. But I'm going to start Hammer so Tabuai Fidau. Connor Tracy bench and Keanu Kinney cut him out. But Keanu Kinney is looking good. He's always making 250 meters plus every single game. The only reason why I'm cutting him is he's still young. He's still developing. But maybe 5 years down the track, I'm starting him.
20 years old, eh?
He's
still young. Yeah,
he's
still young.
For me, I'm going to go Hammer as well. I think he deserves to be a starter. He's playing for Queensland. So, again, he's had a fantastic season this year. Connor Tracy, look, as much as I love him, what he's done for the club, I still think he needs to be contributing more to the team, getting more tries, assists into his game. Perfect performance last week, but I'm a massive fan of Keanu Kinney. I love what he's done. I've been watching him a few weeks, and once Titans become a much threat to the competition, a bigger team and a better team, I think he's going to be a very good fullback, and you can see what he's done this year, how good he is. Yeah. So for me, start Hammer, Keanu Kinney bench, and I'm going to sell Connor Tracy.
Yeah, start Hammer, bench Tracy, and sell Keanu.
Same here as well.
Yeah.
So
you're
saying I'm saying Hammer first, start, and then Connor Tracy on the bench, and then Kinney or
Keanu Kinney.
Okay,
Keanu
next
Kinney,
one. Jacob Kiraz, Zach Lomax, and Dominic Young. That's a tough one.
That's a hard one.
So if we're basing on this year, but all these wingers have been phenomenal. For me, you have to start Zach Lomax. He's been outstanding. Yeah. One of the most tries in the competition this year, making an origin. He's just too good this year, and joining Parramatta, he can really help him a lot. Yeah. So we're basing on this year. I'm going to go Zach Lomax. Jacob Kiraz, for me, is very close to Zach Lomax. I would love to start Kiraz, but yeah, Zach Lomax has been better. Kiraz, one of the best wingers for me in the competition, the most consistent winger for me. And so, yeah, I'll bench Kiraz and Dominic Young as... Yeah, he's been scoring a lot this year as well, but I don't think it's been as bad as Zach Lomax and Kiraz.
I'm going to stick with Jacob Kiraz ever since he debuted against
Brisbane. Starting him?
Yeah, I'm starting him first. Like, when he debuted against the Brisbane Broncos, he just, like, clicked in and he knows what the game plan is. Like, and he's got that speed on him. Like, he's got good attack on him. And when he was putting those tries against Parramatta back in 2022, and even now with his performance this year, it's outstanding.
Kiraz didn't play Origin.
No, I'm not talking about Origin.
No, I'm saying, like...
Yeah, I know he hasn't been chosen yet, but he will get it very soon.
If you're comparing him to Lomax.
Yeah.
It's like you'd really start Lomax. It's up to you, bro. It's yours. Yeah.
Look, I'm sticking with Kiraz. I think he's been playing outstanding. But Zach Lomax has been playing well with St. George. And I know that's a big move that he's going to Parramatta Eels. I know he's going to kill it next year as well, but I'll put him as a bench. Dominic Young, he's put a lot of tries as well. He's been playing well, but there's something in him that doesn't click, like especially with his defensive. Yeah. His defensive is a bit like lackey, like a bit 50-50 thing, you know. So
defensive and lacking.
Yeah, like I'm saying, lacking.
Defensive and lucky.
Yeah, it's a new word, lucky.
This is a tough one, but look, all these plays have been exceptional. Dominic Young has been smashing it. But Zach Lomax again, Origin, he's starting. I'm going to start Zach Lomax. Jacob Kira is very close to him. Personally, for me, I think Kiraz offers a bit more. I think he's a bit more of a threat, but Zach Lomax just starts because of that Origin experience. And he smashed it, got those 2 crucial kicks. Bench Kiraz, and I'll get rid of Dominic Young.
Yeah, start Lomax, bench Kiraz, and yeah.
Okay. Next one, Burden, Dearden, Galvin. I'm going to start Matt Burden. Matt Burden's been exceptional. What a play he's been this year. Probably 5'8" of the year, in my opinion. I'll start Burden. Tom Dearden, I'll bench. Oh, I don't know. You know what? Tom Dearden, I'll bench. Again, Lachlan Gavin, just because he's still young. Yeah. And I think with Tom Dearden's experience, he went to Origin this year, was one of their best players despite losing. So I'll bench Tom Dearden and sell Lachlan Gavin. But same as Kinney, next year, if he's on form, it could change.
I'm sticking with Matt Burden as well. Matt Burden, like ever since he came to the club, he's changed everything around. His kicking skills, phenomenal. Tom Dearden, he's been playing well, but he's always struggling at times, but he played well in Origin level as well with Maroons. Lachlan Galvin, I think he's still got a long way to go. Yeah. So I'll sack him out as well. So
you got to start Tom Dearden, and then I reckon bench Burden, and we'll sell Galvin.
I'm going opposite. Look, put aside Tom Dearden playing for the Origin this year and been their best player. I think Cowboys, he's been good and bad in a way. Quite inconsistent for me. He started the season strong. Then towards the Origin period when he got selected, he was performing well. For me, I'm going to start Burden. I'm going to bench Lachlan Galvin based on this year. I think his performances for a kid that young, doing it in first grade, especially for Tigers, is incredible, man. And you don't see a lot of kids at his age playing the way he is playing. So for me, he deserves to be benched. And Tom Dearden, he's a great player, but this year I just feel I'll cut him out. Okay, last two, Jerome Luai, Jerome Hughes, or Sam Walker. Another tough one. I think...
You got to definitely start Hughes.
I'm going to go Luai.
Nah, you got to start Hughes, man.
Look.
Arguably Dally M winner.
Yeah.
This year.
Okay. I don't know. I just feel, I think you can't say no to Jerome Hughes. Yeah, I'll agree. So, again, I'll go Jerome Hughes. Like Bill said, could get Dally M this year. He's been the halfback of the year. And as good as Luai has been on his own this year without Cleary, we've mentioned a few times on the pod. But, yeah, Hughes, Luai, and Sam Walker.
Yeah, I'm sticking the same. Jerome Hughes, he's been playing outstanding, phenomenal on that field. Attack, his kicks, his speed, everything just all in one picture. Like
clicks.
It just clicks in, you know what I mean? Even Jerome Luai is playing well as well, but even Origin, he killed it as well, don't get me wrong. But for me, I'm sticking with Jerome Hughes to start. Jerome Hughes start, Luai bench, and then Sam Walker as well.
Sam Walker's been very good. He has very good controlling the game, kicking game. That game in Anzac Day with the Dragons smashed it. But I think based on this season, Jerome Hughes has been smashing up, starting him. Yeah. Jerome Luai, with the absence of Cleary, he's really stepped up. He's really controlling the game. And again, we were saying for him to start in number 7 for Origin. So yeah, he's been exceptional. I wasn't expecting him to play this good because last year there was a lot of heat on him, and I feel he was losing his touch. But he's regained that confidence. So yeah, I'll bench Luai and I'll sell Sam Walker.
Yeah, start Hughes, bench Luai, and sell Walker.
Last one, Angus Crichton, David Fafita, and Mitchell Barnett. This season, man, Barnett has been crazy. Absolutely. Even at night, I always knew this guy was a fantastic player. Fafita's been very consistent, pretty slack that he didn't get Origin for unknown reasons. I think Slater probably has a problem with him.
Yeah.
Angus Crichton, what a player he's been for Blues, for Roosters. This one's a tough one. If I'm basing it on this year, I'm going to start Angus Crichton. I think he's been phenomenal, smashing it.
I don't know.
You bench Fafita.
If you got to think about it,
Mitch Barnett has
he's been playing well.
But Fafita as well.
Same as Fafita.
Yeah, it's very tough, that one. I don't know. Do you guys know yet?
Well, I'm going to start it. Yeah. Angus Crichton, he's been playing outstanding, man. With Roosters, he's been playing very good. Even Origin, he nailed it. Like, he played phenomenal.
Origin, he didn't really play a lot of minutes.
No, I know, but he still played well.
Yeah, when he
played
started,
decent as well.
Look, I'll go Crichton start, Fafita bench, and Barnett sell.
Well, I'm sticking with Angus Crichton start. I didn't see David Fafita that much this year because I know like he got like he could have played injury as well. He didn't get that much games in him as well, and he didn't get selected for Origin for Maroons. But Mitch Barnett has been playing very good as well with Warriors, and ever since he came from Newcastle. Yeah. So I'm putting Mitch Barnett bench, and I think David Fafita sell.
Yeah. You want to go? Angus Crichton, for me, he's my favourite player in the game right now. Just the passion, the hunger, what I've seen from him this year has been like phenomenal, and just I love watching him. So I have to start Angus Crichton. For me, I'm a big David Fafita fan as well. I do love him. I still think, yes, he's been good, but I don't think he's been exceptional. He's been on a scoring drought so far. I think it's been 4 to 5 games he hasn't scored in a while. He's still a good player, fantastic player, but like I said, I think I've seen a much better Fafita in previous years. Yeah. Mitchell Barnett, this has been one of his best seasons as a footy player. Incredible, making Origin, stepping up for Warriors in the forward pack. So I'm going to go Angus Crichton, Mitchell Barnett, and David Fafita.
Yeah, I'm going to go Crichton, Fafita, and then Barnett still.
Okay, that's a wrap up to League Talk. Great chat, boys, as usual. Make sure, if you guys haven't checked the Luke Brayley podcast, go watch it now. It's a great chat we had with him. And yeah, that's a wrap up to League Talk. Make sure to also stay tuned for the vlog that will be coming out next week for the Bulldogs Raiders game. But
this week actually.
Yeah,
this
but
week.
it'll be out next week.
Okay.
Next Monday. So yeah, that's a wrap up to the podcast, and we'll see you guys soon.